Welcome everyone, Christine here with my campaign guide on how to win as Ikit of the Skaven in Total War Warhammer 3. Now, Ikit is certainly a powerful legendary lord, but he does have some issues. Specifically, the starting position he has. While he has one of the most powerful starting settlements in the entire game in Skaven Blight with a formidable garrison, so the AI is not going to attack Skaven Blight, and even if they attack Skaven Blight, they would need a huge amount of troops to be able to take it. Like, it starts at tier 1 with 16 troops, and those troops are just going to increase in quality as you upgrade Skaven Blight. Now, one particular strategy that's very popular with a lot of people is actually to use food initially to abandon Skaven Blight, take it back over. You just need to take the borrow, and then you move back in Skaven Blight, and you take it over. I'm not fond of that strategy because it's going to cost a good amount of food in order to pull it off. First things first, we're going to go to the Fey Enchantress, we're going to declare war on the Greenskins, and we're going to get a decent amount of money through that process. Second thing we're probably going to do, yes, we're engaging in some Skaven diplomacy over here, gentlemen. We're going to declare war on Paravan. And then we're going to take our army over here into Barrow, and we're going to take the settlement and make it a tier 2 settlement. The reason we want to make it a tier 2 settlement is because we want to get some hidden layers in order to get some Skaven assassins. And then I'm going to recruit some Skaven slave slingers, get Root Marcher, and then I am going to get expansionist planning as a commandment over there, and that will be turn 1. Now, Estalia is contested between you and Mogr. Now, here's the problem with that, and also declare war on these greenskin factions that Belegar starts at war with. Now, here's the problem. Mogr can destroy all of Estalia on his own. In fact, here's the thing. Estalia's army, if you understand it, starts here. And that's within range of Mogr. Now, Mogr may not be able to win the battle between the garrison and the army here, but this army has a tendency, the AI has a tendency over there, to send that army and suicide it against Mogr after turn 1. And even if they don't, Mogr might just be able to auto-resolve one, because he does have some powerful units like Gaspon in his army that would allow him to win that. Now, initially, when Immortal Empires came out, the Beastmen, like Mogr, would certainly devastate the Sally before you could do anything about it. But now, things have kind of changed in the sense that the Beastmen AI has been made so very passive and insignificant that it's unlikely Mogr will devastate Estalia by the time you get there. And it's also just kind of weird. Like, keep in mind, I am using some auto-resolve mods just to avoid having to fight a bunch of inconsequential battles manually, but I am playing on Legendary very hard. So this is the peak AI aggression by default. And, you know, I find it questionable to use some AI mods. Like, there are AI mods that supposedly improve things. Kind of, I'm going to say it like that. Like, kind of, when we're talking about it. Regardless, what we want to do here is we want to get more Skaven slaves while that builds up. And it seems like Estalia didn't suicide itself against Mogr. They might, however. Regardless, we're going to get the dominating scheme because we want that level right there. And we are actually getting food and from buildings as well. Regardless, what buildings... Well, we do start with the Warpstone Telescope, so that's giving us a... Now, the reason I don't, by the way, appreciate the idea of abandoning Skaven, like, we're going to turn it tier 2, and then by the time it's done constructing tier 2, it's going to be very, very close to being tier 3, to being able to construct it in tier 3. And I guess you can make it a settlement. Like, you could make it... I should probably level that up, but it doesn't matter. You could make it into a tier 4 settlement with enough food, but just, I don't know, like, food is not as big of an issue as some people might think, but it's one of those things, right? Like, in many Skaven campaigns I've played, food doesn't become as big of an issue. I mean, sure, it's always beneficial to get settlements to a higher level, but then you gotta wonder yourself, like, is that really worth it, spending all your food on that? And then there's Mogr doing what Mogr does best, which is frustrating to say the least, but is workable, and you know, I can manage this. It's not really a problem. There are other strategies available over here, and yeah, this is frustrating to say the least. And we're going to declare war on Mogr, and well, maybe hope for a best right here, right? Regardless, we're just gonna get some assassins here. Now, Mogr could, if he wasn't such an annoying little shit, he could march north to take Bali in certain campaigns. That he's going to, you know what, I'm just going to declare war on the bastard because screw him, more or less. And hopefully he attacks me. Because as opposed to him ruining another settlement and forcing me to rebuild it from freaking scratch, that would be great. Though I can always use food, of course, when I'm taking over a settlement to just get it to tier 3. And that's, by the way, the goal there. As expected, he attacks, he's gonna get wiped out, no problem. He thinks he's going to win, but he's not going to win, and then we're going to take Bali, and then I'll rebuild these settlements down here in the south, no problem whatsoever. Maybe even start getting a second army, to start getting Night Runners in that second army, get that settlement. And we're getting extra food here, so the fact that I started with that settlement at tier 2, the only concern I might have here is a rebellion potentially, but not really. And yeah, so we're just going to deal with the Hearthstone garrison. I mean, honestly, like, Skaven armies are so bad that even with like, they're so bad in auto resolve that realistically, I would get a better result if I was playing these battles manually. Yeah, that's the kind of situation you're going to deal with the Skaven campaign. Like, even with mods, no freaking joke on this, even with mods, you're still probably going to be better off. Like, one of the things you want, by the way, as Ikit is you want to get a Warlock Master to start leveling him up. It is frustrating, I'm not going to lie about that, and you want to pick up Blast Master over here for Ikit, because like, if you're not using weapon teams on Ikit, you're doing something very, very wrong, get triangulation. Besides, you do need to improve the level there. Okay, so Skaven Blight is tier 2, we're going to start getting all of these structures, and what should I pick up? Like, I don't... Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna get this particular structure for... Because while we can get... No, so we would get Warfire Thrower. You still kind of want it, don't you? Although we could make an argument... No. We're just gonna go with that. For... basically... This structure, this landmark, the Warpstone Telescope, is incredible and gives you a lot of power, but it's kind of missing some important units that you do want. Specifically Poison Wind Mortars, Globadiers, Bombardiers, all that kind of good stuff, right? So it's like, GG. The main threat in this campaign is not the Fey Enchantress, it's nothing like that. In fact, you can easily deal with the Fey Enchantress if you so desire. No. The main threat, the principal issue, is, one, beyond the shitty starting position. The principal issue is actually Belegar. Now, I used to have a strategy where, and that strategy, by the way, still works, where you would just sack to borrow again and again and again, and then when the opportunity was created, like basically when Aranessa was besieging this element, you could just ambush her, basically show up there, help the Tyleans fight her out, and then eliminate them in a true Skaven style. That's one way you can do it, because remember, they're at war with Aranessa. Aranessa might think she's gonna win that, you drop a fucking nuke on her ass. You wait until she diminishes the garrison, and then you drop a nuke on her head. And you take minimal casualties. By the way, fun thing. Like, yeah, you got nukes. So, there's no battle that Ikit can lose if you've got the nuke. Like, basically, it takes an incredible freaking army to just overwhelm the nuclear freaking power that you've got at your disposal. Okay. We're just going to take this as tier 2. I'm not going to take it as tier 3. Because I'm going to need to invest a good amount of stuff. Like, I do have other needs as the Skaven over here. And we do, unfortunately, have a corruption issue, so we're going to have to move over here slowly. Not worried about Skaven Blight, by the way. I'm actually kind of worried about money. So I don't want to go too crazy over here. And yes, click get Blastmaster. Get Triangulation. One of the things we want to do is go into the lovely Forbidden Workshop. What do you want in this Forbidden Workshop? And you might want to spend this from the very first turn, though not really too big of a priority. Endless Drum for your initial Rattling Gunners. Pretty damn good. Hawkish Precision, kind of. Somewhat. Yeah, let's go with that. Now, our objective is to get the Warpstone Tractor Beam and use a Doom Rocket in a battle. Using the Doom Rocket is irrelevant, right? That's not really important. Like, don't bother too much with that. Okay, we don't really care about this army anymore, so we could just dismiss it. I'm just concerned about the Fey Enchantress, because, like, one of the reasons I've never been fond of holding Astalia is, one, you might share a border with the High Elves, who, if they find you out, they're probably gonna declare war on you because you're fucking Skaven and thus universally despised by everyone that breathes, basically, in the universe. Two, the High Elves, in particular in Bretonnia as well, do also hate you. Now, the thing about the Fey Enchantress, yes, she's gonna declare war on you, but the thing about that is, well, you kind of want to wipe her out. So, though, I don't think it's worth it. Like, I don't think it's worth it to focus too much on her. You gotta understand, she can only attack through one particular corridor, and it's fairly easy to hold us, like as Ikit with a freaking nuke. It's pretty easy enough to hold on to this territory. So what I'm going to do, what is my favorite strategy if I'm playing Skaven, is something else entirely. Now, I'm gonna wait for the rebellion to crop up there. In the north, I'm actually gonna go in raiding stance just to make sure it happens more faster. Okay, we got a quest battle. We're not gonna be able to do that. we just got a bunch of like starting units and Skaven slaves. We're not doing that particular battle. Like, fly out, it's just not gonna freaking happen. So we just gonna embrace our rebellious nature and keep moving this army slowly ahead. Okay, so we could actually like do some global recruitment if we wanted to, but I'm not really in a bother. And besides, well, I mean, what's the harm, right? Get some more fire throwers. Why not? Since we have to wait anyway. We're slowly building up food, so I'm not really concerned about that. And when I take over the settlement, we're going to certainly get the rebellion there. Now, I'm not worried about that army right there. Now, it would have been nice to get this in a provincial capital, and I will eventually. You do kind of want, like, you do kind of want this eventually because you want to get, like, the Ashen Sorcerer, but that's not too big of a priority, and besides, they do share capacity with Plague Priest, so it's not really too big of a hassle, though you do eventually want to get it. As for the quest battle, yeah, don't fight this quest battle. Just game with slaves, you're not going to win it. You kind of need these Night Runners. We do want to get this element to tier 2. And maybe I'll just cancel this, actually. And just pick up more growth. Like, yeah. Because I realized that it would be great, but I do want that rebellion before moving on. One of the things to know about Skaven campaigns, one of the things that's almost certainly going to happen, is that when you're taking a province properly, is more often than not you're going to get a rebellion. It's the only race where that does happen because you're looting and occupying settlements when you take them over, basically. And you're getting a significant amount of public order penalties as a result of that, so yeah, rebellions are pretty damn common in a Skaven campaign. It's the only race that has that particular dynamic in the entire game. No one else has it. Like, Chaos Factions don't have it because, well, Chaos Factions have a significant public order benefit through corruption. Skaven don't have a significant public order benefit. Okay, over here, we're just gonna get some clan rats, and maybe actually not get the clan rats. Though I gotta be mindful. And point of fact, I can do something that maybe I should have done the previous turn. Alright, let's declare war. And don't declare war on Queek. Although, it could work out in our favor. Because we gain vision with the bastard. Belegar hasn't wiped them out yet. Weirdly enough. Okay. And look, Quake is obviously gonna hate that we declared war on him, but it gives me vision with him. And it gives me money as well, so hooray! So over here, get a bunch of... Like, yeah, it would have been better had I done it the opposite way. The one thing I do want to do next turn is I want to teleport to the quest battle. Not because I want to fight that quest battle right now, but rather... Okay. Because through that vision... Through that particular vision that I'll get there...
Do you know who I am?
You willing to submit, my dude?
Sigma's
Stalia is, at the very least.
The Queen of
Lord, you. What are you, good swans?
Let's declare war on Skarsnik.
Oh no, before
I hear ya.
Though that's not going to benefit us. Not this turn. A bit of a shame, but so be it. I'm not going to suffer right now for not recruiting an extra Night Runner Slinger. Now, you got to be careful a bit here. Army composition-wise, here's what you should know about Skaven armies. The Gutter Runner, Night Runner army, it's not the best army for auto-resolve, but it is a fantastic army against slow-moving opponents. It's not a great army against a cavalry force, so it's not going to do very well against Bretonnia, for instance. But against dwarves, yeah. And let me put it like this. I am not freaking afraid of the Bretonnians. I'm afraid of the dwarves. Like, Belegar is one of the things you should build an army to counter. What about Wood Elves? Well, they can handle the Wood Elves as well, because they're actually pretty damn resistant to... they're pretty damn resistant to a bunch of things. Okay, so we want to teleport to this quest battle. Yeah, I know that Resolve there would win it, but sometimes you gotta know how to use these. Like, if you're gonna use an auto-resolve mod, which I would recommend if you hate the sieges as much as I do, you gotta have some kind of honor system, like understand which battles you're kind of meant to lose, and it's like, yeah, I'm not winning that quest battle. I was just interested in hoping to... Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Weird.
Only the Grail companions of all.
We could declare war on Grom, which might work out for the best in some ways. Realistically, though, you kind of... Okay, so we're just gonna take this territory. Not enough money. That's a bit of a shame. But yeah, we're gonna get that rebellion next turn. And that will solve our financial issues, hopefully.
What are you, good swans?
Not great choices.
Unflinching.
Protector, good.
Yes.
Guess we have no choice.
I will strike you down if needs
Your arm's gonna have a bunch of issues anyway, so
Sigma's will.
just gotta buy time. And there's our rebellion. We just crushed it. And then dismiss the Skaven slaves because they're not going to be particularly useful after that. As for Grom, I'm not particularly worried about him attacking me because he's going to end up at war with various factions, Bretonnia and all that. Besides, there's a buffer of the Fey Enchantress. I mean, he could, but... I mean, just unlikely. Okay, so now get more growth.
Enemies to track. This arms race, no contest.
Get more money.
Science, sorcery,
Then we're certainly gonna get a rebellion here as well. Let's take over that settlement. This army would smash the yeah, Imperial Spearmen. What a joke. Sack settlements before you take them over as Skaven. Because, I mean, you're gonna take them over as tier 1 settlements anyway, so might as well use that. Unless you have a ton of food, which, yeah, in this case I kinda don't. Not enough money. What is Belegar doing there? Seriously. It's sometimes weird, I see it with Snitch as well. Like, sometimes these factions just don't behave the way they should. So we're just gonna get rid of all of these units and get the second rebellion. Because, yeah, that's gonna happen.
engineer of Scryer.
No. Yeah, a bit of replenishment though. Get some growth. And now we can, well, I'm pretty sure I would have been able to before, just no money. But don't worry, that's gonna be solved soon enough with the quest battle. Like, this is one of the things to note, is like, when you have quest battles to deal with them, you want to do them as quickly as possible, because you're gonna get, like, from quest battles, you're usually gonna get, like, I don't know, 10k cash or something like that. Now, I could go after Tylea. One of the things that's popular in an Ikit Claw campaign is to go for Tylea, because it's got food, which is useful. But sharing a border with Belegar, you know, it's not even the problem of defeating Belegar, it's the fact that you then have a border with Alpha Lorem, and let me tell you, dealing with Alpha Lorem is a freaking nightmare. It's not just like the Wood Elves are really powerful, no, you can smash them to pieces. Like, if they recruited properly, that would be a different discussion, but like, Wood Elf AI has a tendency of recruiting, Wood Elf AI has a freaking tendency of recruiting a ton, and I do mean a ton of,
Yes. Warlock of Skaven Blight.
a ton of melee units for whatever unknowable reason. And I'm not talking here like forest spirit units. No, we're talking here like proper wood elf melee, quote unquote. Okay. So we want to teleport, do that battle because we want the money. Yeah. Don't go up against temple cards and all of this with just yeah, those ancient salamanders would rip you to shreds. Regardless, we get about 10k. Actually more than that. But regardless, we get all that juicy, lovely money that we're gonna spend properly right now. Get Game and Blight to tier 3 finally. And let the fun games begin. And we also got his special skill line unlocked.
More Wobstone.
And mind you, I still have time to use his nuke. Like, you don't have to rush using the nuke, because, like, the objective is to get the Warpstone reactor. One thing you do want to do quickly, however, is get this engineer. What I prefer doing with this guy is sending him in Empire. One, you'll benefit from the vision you'll get from that. Also, send this army on the sea, because like, why take attrition when you can avoid it? Send this army into the sea, and that should be over next turn. So we're gonna get a bunch of chieftains. Public order is stabilizing, and we're gonna get food supply, surplus food supply, so that will even improve our public order. And next turn we deal with the rebellion. Let it grow stronger, because you'll get obviously more money and you'll stabilize the public order even further. Like, I prefer at least sending this guy in Gelt's territory, though Maybe it would be good to send them all the way to freaking Reichland and get division along the way. Yeah, Altdorf is a great location to put an undercity. You'll increase your engineer capacity with that, and that's one of the principal reasons you want to do that. Regardless, with this army that I have in Estalia, so what do you do now is the question. Well, you can either go down the Tylian path, just keep in mind you share a border with Belegar, he's likely going to declare war on him. You could launch a preemptive strike, it's not going to work so well. So you can spend a lot of time in this starting position. And by the way, never upgrade the Clan Barracks to tier 3. There's no value whatsoever for it. Like, Storm Vermin are not worth recruiting, and you're not going to improve. Like, yeah, it's a bit of economic benefit, but it's only 10, so don't bother. It's, like, not worth it, ever. Hell, it's not worth it building in the provincial capital, but, you know, you just gotta do what you gotta do, right? So, regardless, we're just gonna get these chieftains, gonna get Cunning, gonna get Tactician. And now, with our lovely armies, we're just gonna put this particular army over here in a camp stance, and we are going to take Ikit. Rebellion dealt with. And start force marching. That navy is a potential threat, so be mindful of that. So that's Warlock Engineer, so we can get an extra one. That's a pretty powerful benefit, by the way. Once we can actually use them. But no big deal. Warlock Engineers are the best Skaven heroes. They're also rare. They're hard to get. So what do I want to do here? Well, I want to start marching towards Skaven Blight. In fact, I might want to force march all the way to Skaven Blight because I want to actually recruit more Warpfire throwers. And we can see that we're getting more growth. So over here, I'm going to attack Archon, the Black. That's what you want to do. The reason is that Archon has some really good territory. That's one of the most secure areas on the campaign map. Now, how much time you want to spend in Camry, that's your choice. But Araby should be yours. Like, basically everything, I'll just show it once the end turn is over. Everything from the coast to basically taking the Black Pyramid of Nagash, which is an incredible landmark in itself, but everything there should be yours. Whether or not you wipe out Volkmar, that is your personal decision. I probably would. Just gonna say that. Okay, let's just get that right there, and I think I'm just going to get some Night Runners with slings. Yeah, that's a decent enough army composition. Keep moving this engineer, but let me just show what I'm going to aim for right here. And also send this engineer. I have units I can disband, so it's not a problem. Send that chieftain, rather. Okay. Now, over here, you want to wipe out Archon the Black. Hopefully before he takes out the ogres, but chances of you arriving here. And essentially, you kind of want to stop. Like, I would recommend avoiding going down south in the jungle. You can. Like, if you want to fight the entirety of the freaking Southlands, which I hate that area. But I would kind of stop, like, I would stop taking territory, like maybe give it to Manfred if he's still alive. If not, take some territory, give it to Cetra. But basically, like, I would kind of stop at the Black Pyramid of Nagash. So essentially, it's Crackland, Attilan Mountains, Land of Assassins. Or you could keep conquering with Ikit if you want to do so. But my advice in this respect is, yeah, just go deal with Arkan. Now, he's pretty powerful, so he shouldn't be underestimated. By the way, I'm just going to declare war on him, maybe buy myself some time. But he's pretty powerful, and mind you, I do have vision with him. So we're just going to do that. Of course, Rapunzel is going to be an issue, undeniably so. But she's not immediately going to declare war on you. She might declare war on Aranessa, so don't engage in diplomacy with Aranessa, because you're probably going to regret that particular choice. But regardless, with the chieftain here, with this, we should be able to destroy Arkan. He does have 2 armies, keep that in mind. He does have 2 armies, but he's not going to have great armies. He's just going to have a bunch of skeletal spearmen and archers and all that. And obviously his own unique units. So he's fairly easy to defeat. This is the thing about Ikit campaign. Why spend all this time and effort fighting people like Belegar, Orion, Gelt? Because keep in mind, if you go after Belegar, you're going to encounter Gelt. You're going to encounter Orion. You're going to be end up in a war with all 3 of them. Like, that's a certainty. And if Durfu shows up, like there's few legendary lords I fear on the campaign map. People like Durfu, Draika, Vlad are freaking terrifying in a one-on-one battle. So if you want that war, go for it. Go in Alpha Loren. Just keep in mind, Alpha Loren is a nightmare to take because the elves can have powerful armies. But the issue is, it's not good territory. On the flip side, you do have a potential ally over here, and I do stress the word potential ally in Grom, who can hold that entire flank for you. But just be mindful of that. Okay, so I'm just going to skip ahead a couple of turns and show you how it's going to work. Like, Arkan is not going to... Like, the only situation Arkan can defeat you, this army, is if he attacks you with 2 armies at the same time. That's, by the way, the key to defeating him and defeating anyone. But especially if you're fighting Skaven... just kind of fun fact, actually, Skaven are one of the most notorious factions with something like this, and just gonna disband some of these guys. Skaven are kind of notorious for these facts. Like, the key to defeating Skaven is to fight their armies ideally one at a time, because if you're fighting multiple Skaven armies at the time, yeah, you're probably gonna lose just from raw numbers. Regardless, just gonna skip ahead. A couple of turns later, my Skaven spy is in the middle of the Empire, already to establish a Skaven lab, a Warlock lab. And what we want from that is just the Warlock Engineer hero capacity, which we can't afford right now because, well, we've been spending all our money on other things. And Aranessa has a tendency of ending up in a war with Rapunzel, which we can certainly use for our benefit, and then crush Aranessa when she does take a settlement that we actually want for our own benefit. Regardless, Rapunzel declared war on Arkan. This is the kind of the thing that happens to Rapunzel. She will lose against Arkan because she'll end up fighting on 2 fronts and end up losing on 2 fronts. Just picking up Infiltrator over here, getting Elusive, training. Regarding Carcassonne, they're at war with Grom, and I also got the peace treaty with Grom. Not yet one with clan wars. Like, the reason I declared war on them, one of the reasons anyway, beyond the crappy financial situation I found myself in, is because I wanted vision with them. Because, yeah, I can start building relations with them. And over here we do have 2 armies under the Tomb Kings. It says heroic victory, but you tell me, like, genuinely, in the most genuine sense, how the world would this army right here struggle against this? And that's before we start talking about nuke. Sure, we got a casket of souls. This is not a crappy army. But one of these armies is in forced march. It's not gonna win. And yet, Skaven auto-resolve. Seriously, like, of all the races in this game, the Skaven, I think, are the one that benefits immensely from an auto-resolve mod, and even then, it's not especially the best in the world. Regardless, we want to sack this, and then take it over, and I'm going to delay for 1 turn. We're going to get a rebellion. Yeah, we are going to get a rebellion, no problem. And now I can start turning this into a reality and get some Warlock Engineers. Actually, I can't. Well, no, I can. Warpstone Herder, pretty good. And then Sharp Claws. I'll leave one here and start recruiting a third army when I can afford it. For Ikit, what you want to do is... It's an interesting question. Like, obviously engineering skill is a pretty damn good ability. Once you get Plague Claws, which I don't have right now. Ballistic Instructor, Doom Rocket for your Warlock Engineer. And Concealment Bombs. Still haven't used a single nuke, and mind you, I can produce more, I imagine. Because I have Warp Field. So over here, I'm going to go over here into Weapon Teams. And one nice thing is to get Hazmat Fursuits. Because that 25 armor is a lot. That ain't no joke. That ain't no joke. Okay. I might even declare war on Aranessa if opportunity presents itself. For whatever reason, Rapunzel actually hates the dwarves. But yeah, she declared war on our Center army, and I'm like, hey Rapunzel, don't mind if I do, and wiped her out. I mean, she also took a settlement that I wanted, so it's like fair game under the Skaven rules. Aranessa is throwing everything she's got against Rapunzel. Jeez, I feel bad for Rapunzel in this situation. She's getting ganked up by everyone. So much for the Holy Crusader of Lyoness. She might be able to win against Aranessa's armies, though, because, well, Vampire Coast is a crappy race, especially with Auto-Resolve. I think they're genuinely the worst race in Auto-Resolve. Like, you could say Slanesh, I guess? But I don't know. Yeah, that's a good benefit. Thank you. I'll take it. Okay, and over here we're just gonna start getting that. Although, yeah, I kind of want Plague Law. Not gonna lie. Like, I literally just want some Plague Laws for Ikit. Okay. So we just put an ambush stance over there. And do this here. One thing I hate about Doom Wheels and Doom Flayers, they take a lot of damage. For whatever reason. In Auto-Resolve. Okay, and now I still don't have the best the best amount of money. I do want a Gracier, however. We're gonna go with Ruin spells. It doesn't matter too much. I'm not recruiting a Gracier for their combat ability. Let's put it like that.
You need me? What?
Okay, he's at war with the Mutinous Gets. He's at war with the Mutinous Gets.
Who?
Attention! I have no time for you now.
He's at war with a lot of factions.
Yes.
I was kind of hoping to get a peace treaty there.
Do you know who I am?
Only the Grail companions of old.
That's a nice amount of money.
Tricks.
And hopefully Itza never decides to invade me via the sea. Rakarth won't. So I'm not particularly concerned about that. Might be concerned about some other guys. Alright, Sharp Claws. Gonna start building a proper Skaven force over here. So when opportunity presents itself, yeah, start building an army to screw over Aranessa. Oh, she's got some troops here. Wounded, sure, but relatively decent still. Now Araby will take the Land of Assassins, rather, is going to take some money to develop. Undeniably so, because those ports are expensive. But once you do build them up, you actually can generate a good amount of money, and no one's going to attack you. Oh, Aranessa. I didn't think that was going to happen. Okay. By the way, while it's beneficial to declare a lot of wars against a lot of factions, there's some downsides in that respect as well. Do I want to declare war on Aranessa? It would be a good opportunity that I could seize, and I would certainly smash her to pieces. Flip side is that, well, yeah, I mean, what am I talking about? Like, what's the debate here? Do I want money or do I want money? Ooh, no, no. Kind of didn't want to move that army, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so this army can't flee. She just lost.
Want to slit throat?
Yep, that is something that you're gonna take advantage of. One of the main powers of this Skaven.
Mighty master engineer I am.
Yeah, that's gonna suck, but tell you what. Skaven be Skaven. And I'd rather take the risk. Because I'm gonna tell you, there's no way she wins that battle. But let's just make it certain. Time for regiments renowned to enter the fray.
More warpstone.
Speak.
It is a bit of a messy war right there.
This is my place.
Okay, I can declare war on various other factions, so... But who? Who do I want to declare war on? Well, we want to go to Grom and declare war on Bastan. Or that he hasn't wiped them out yet. Lyoness, I can understand that he hasn't wiped out yet, but Bastan, that's a... interesting one. And yes, Skaven diplomacy. You actually benefit immensely if you if you don't betray people. I know, shocking idea as a Skaven to actually stick to your word, but really. It's not very Skaven, right? That's what people will say. I say people really need to play the game properly. Okay, so we got... What do I want? That's a good question. You know what? Get more warp fire throwers. They're pretty decent. And then we'll march over here to get more units. That's pretty cheap too.
Lord of...
Ready!
On, I stand defiant. Wrath incarnate. The more.
Do I want to declare war on Karazakarak?
Quick.
Maybe I do. I mean, they're not really gonna threaten me, so why not? Get that to a higher level. No. What the fuck am I doing? No, that's fine. Yeah. There's Zarkon. But you know what? Just to be on the safe side, let me merge some of these units together because they are a bit damaged. Okay, so that's one. And I'm gonna need a bit more money, which I will get through, well, maybe canceling some building construction. Yeah, you can do that. It might be worth doing so. I'm just gonna cancel a port. Ports are like kind of long-term investments anyway. So just merge these guys together as well.
Says yes.
Yeah, there we go. So I'll get 2 regiments renowned. Should be enough, but need a bit more money. There we go. So if Aranessa attacks, just smash her to pieces, no problem. Even if these guys are in force march, like, she's not gonna win this fight. Oh, look who's here. Let's just get a bunch of clan rats and do this battle. Okay. Well, here's the key to this. Like, by the way, if it wasn't for the fact that my guys are tired, I would engage her directly. But yeah, you put an army like this in a wood, and it's like GG, finished, no chance, like 0. Like, I'm not joking here. It's like there is absolutely no freaking chance Arnessa wins this battle, because one of the main things that she needs actually is clear line of sight to shoot with her units, and that's the one thing I'm gonna take away from her. I'm also gonna use this slope to put my rattling gunners here. I'm not gonna keep that regiment right now, but I'll see. Maybe put them like this. Kind of bit cheesy. Just deploy. Yep. Like, if my guys just weren't this freaking tired, I would not do this. Also, she may have recruited some units, so she's gonna have obviously a proper skill line for the units she's using. I imagine so. I mean, she's certainly at the point. I messed with that. Yeah. Scurvy dogs coming in. Now, of course, my units as well are going to suffer a bit here, because, you know, they're ranged, and ranged units are less effective in a forest when they're shooting at things in a forest. But the level of protection, you know, the level of protection that I'm getting from the freaking forest is certainly of such a nature that I kind of want to use it, so... let's... Oh, I may have slowed down a bit too much. Alright, so Sartosa militia. Okay, send those guys there. Damn it. Like, don't underestimate the power of gunpowder units in terms of, like, their capability of doing damage. It certainly exists. Okay, let's send those against the rotting Prometheans. I mean, obviously I'm going to drop the nuke at one point, but I kind of want to win the battle without using the nuke. Yeah, that's just the kind of guy I am. But I will drop it. Problem is leadership in this situation. Let's just do it. Not that I expect necessarily. Alright, move these guys to try and take. Boom. Here's one quest objective completed. Send them into the melee there. Arnessa is a big target. I mean, she's got a good amount of mobility on the battlefield, which is good. She certainly can use it. And she has the one army of the vampire counts that vampire coast that won't just break easily. Well, let's send them after her hero and kind of disable these guard mode. Damn, they're taking a lot more damage than I expected. It's fine. Alright, more Kleinrats. May have overdone it. Honestly, even the regiment's renown may have been, I don't know. It's sketchy, but yeah, I feel kind of just panicked for no reason with those regiments right now. Wasting money. Oh, she's... you know what? This is something I do.
Murder, kill! Murder, kill! Night runners! Onwards! Retreat, retreat! Unleash war pain!
Alright, let me try and get these guys to fire. Like, one of the problems of flamethrowers, of course, is, like, you know, actually getting them to fire.
At once!
Alright, so most of our army is starting to break apart.
Follows me! Warlock moves!
There's no plan B for her. In some ways, the battle would have been easier had I not forced march, but it's like I kinda... And also, if I had fought the previous battle manually, because obviously it would have demolished them. The nuke might have actually been worth it more there.
Warlock master!
Ooh, he's on that freaking crab. I did just like that. Wait for real. Can't kill her. Rather not face her again. Is that flamethrower even gonna work? I don't know. Come on. Ah, so close. She had more firepower than I anticipated. Yeah. Need the money.
Too many slaves to feed. We can fight.
Oh no, really? Yeah, kinda expected that one. That's gonna complicate my situation, but I can tackle it. Like, seriously, I have one Belegar to attack Skaven Blight. I'll wipe the floor with him. Okay, so he can gain a bunch of benefits. Let's get spray him. Why not? I mean, that's the problem, right?
Master engineer.
It's beneficial regardless. I'll eventually actually use that skill. Can I...
Ikit claw.
I think so? I'm not even gonna waste my time fighting this manually. I got a lot of food though. So, yeah. Disable, well, not necessarily so.
Engineer, here.
Let's take fires.
Sam, kill for Scryer. Technoc, sorcerer. Let the bell scream.
Complications. It depends on what Belegar throws against me, but I'm gonna get some gutter runner slingers. They'll run in circle around his army in particular. But yeah, it does mean I'm using a lot of the... I want that. I mean, eventually I do want a weapon team army for him.
Science.
What's the situation here? Still not completed with the Warpstone Tractor Beam, so that's kind of the problem. 2 turns. Money.
Ready to sword.
I mean, look. There we go. There's my peace agreement.
For my trophies. Challenge me. Dare you. So,
Fear the
me.
Sartosa's most infamous.
I know there was a high chance it could happen. But yeah, now the problem is I need to send one of the armies back from here.
Warp. Light
I mean, I could just slow down my rate of expansion in Araby. Important thing is getting the mountains, because there's a lot of resources in those mountains as well. Like, this is the economic breadbasket for the Skaven. Also good amount of hero capacity as well. So we want cooldown all spells, and then you want to pick up this one. You gotta also go for construction cost and time for settlements. Considering you're gonna get everything from, you know, scratch, you're gonna have to build everything from scratch. That's a bigger benefit than you might think. Yep. And once again, we are out of money. I swear, this is the Skaven experience, really. Oh, you think you have money? You don't. Until you do, and it's like more money than you can, you know what to do with. Seriously, that's how Skaven campaigns work. It's like, oh, you got money. You don't, and then you do. Okay. Disable income. We got some ogres, but those are not a priority. By the way, want to see something real funny? I'm gonna do a magic trick. I'm gonna give Volmar to ally me. Yeah. Shit. That's a lot of dwarves right there. They're coming. I guess they just decided to use down the raid to attack my port. Rip.
Begone.
Master of Seers. More warpstone. Now! Skavenblight's greatest defense inventor. Good. Kill fight mode on. Power enhancers placed.
Must.
Aranessas!
What? Overrun them! Grey Master!
I have no time for this.
Chosen!
I think awful careful about what yous want to say to me. Fair enough.
Ready to
Blood. Meat ritual. Master Butcher. Gore. I am the wrathful Reaper, but today I shall do no reaping. Come. Murder.
Four-horned rat! Good. Begin the summoning. Hide, skulk, ambush. We camp here. Kill things!
War's chosen.
I am Volmar, the Empire's great defender. It shall be done.
fear the pirate queen!
horned rat. Let the bear scream, scream.
Alright, Belegar is gonna come for me. I had to pull every trick in the book in order to succeed in that respect. But let's win. It's just a shame that I went bankrupt. No. Oh. Don't mind if I do. See, Belegar has a problem. He can't attack Skaven Blight directly. Because he will lose, right? I'm just wondering what he did with that. Ah, damn it, Rapans. Maybe I should have intercepted. But bear in mind, I didn't know what second army he would have had. But he probably wouldn't have attacked me. He couldn't have. Oh. Okay. I was concerned a bit that that army would have run away, right? So, it's like, obviously that's not ideal if it had.
Machinations.
So we're gonna wipe out our pawns here.
That will work.
Deal with Belegar's forces.
Turn them.
Yeah. These two, those two. Those are a problem. Wait, what about the lab? Yeah, just need rank 15 with the Warlock Master. That's the reason I got him. Like, seriously, the only reason I freaking got him is because I needed Warlock. I'm not talking about this guy. I'm gonna keep these regiments running because we got the real freaking fight over here with Belegar. It's gonna require multiple forces.
If I don't like your words, I'll blast yous with me spell.
It would be a decent enough deal, like Reed, I think. So yeah, let's just go for it.
Fist Warlock. Once Vlad. Cloaking.
And then destroy Rapans. Why the hell not? More control. As for Volmar,
The Empire's foes do not escape the Grand Theogenist's
oh,
wrath.
okay. Not enough for an well, until I get it to tier 3, and then it will be. Oh yeah. Interesting enough, I haven't gotten a single rubbish bit yet. I will rectify that very quickly. Get some triangulation. We do need another assassin here. But I did just deal with 2 of Belegar's heroes, so that should count for quite a lot.
Sartosa's most infamous.
Dragon Master.
More head.
Dominating.
One rug!
General. I have little interest in your chatter.
Good.
I am glad.
Fear the pirate.
Ashing our blood in dirt.
Aranessa salts fight.
Like, yeah, that's kind of hilarious part. Though, if you encounter any any Kafeian faction, chances are they're gonna be at war with Snitch at one point or another, so you can use that to you can use that to end up confederating Snitch, which, yeah, pretty good benefit over there if you can pull it off. Here, I need more food. So the army in Skaven Blight is gonna adopt a more defensive posture until I can sort things out. Or I could just send it over to the Old Defay Enchantress. Well, no pressure whatsoever, right? Arnissa's armies are finished. I mean, when an army is in force march stance and you don't take advantage of that, you're kind of screwing up. And by the way, there's a high chance you will ambush it when you're playing as Skaven. Yeah, who would have known? Screw that. I know this battle would not have been won, whatever, but it's like, come on, she's finished. Although, if I didn't forget to build nukes, I could have dropped one on her ass. Okay, so they're confederated. Get that to a higher level, get that to a higher level. We're gonna get a rebellion here. Okay. It's not worth it. If I had more food, the things I would do.
No evildoer may receive the
I'm gonna go deal with her.
Soon. I smell you.
Shit. Yeah, that's another thing. Everyone hates the Skaven, but you actually can generate a lot of trade resources. So that situation is actually not at all favorable to you. That everyone does freaking hate you.
Which kill device to use? More lab nests here.
Yeah, we're gonna get rid of that and get some assassins because we need them. And at this point, what do you do after this point? You gotta decide how much effort you wanna... Like, one army can stop Belegar's attack, because he's gonna send... Like, he's not gonna send free stacks against you. If you did, you would win. He would win. He's gonna send, like, one, right? Or two, in that case. And it's kind of predictable. So as long as you stay on the defensive... and aren't completely stupid and reckless, it's easy enough to take advantage of that situation. Now, mind you, I kind of want more money for, you know, this particular building. Still, public order is obviously going to be an issue there. You're not really going to be able to take advantage of this particular settlement, although corruption will go down, so... And you will even get a bit of a control benefit. And once provincial instability goes down, it's gonna sort itself, right? And yeah, once we deal with ogres, the issue is gonna resolve itself. So at this point in a campaign, you gotta decide, like, okay, how much effort do I want to expend in this area versus, you know, how much effort do I want to put in another territory? Don't go in Bretonia. Like, seriously, yes, destroy Carcassonne because you want that short campaign victory condition. It's pretty damn good. But actually, like, once that's gone, you could genuinely spend the rest of your campaign in the Battlelands if you want to. Though, like, long campaign victory condition is not really something you should worry too much about, because it's gonna take quite a bit of time. Like, earliest you can do it, like, turn 50 or so, and that's being generous. I usually complete it like turn 60 or so, something along those lines. So, and Ikit is kind of slower campaign. I mean, he's really powerful with that slow speed of his, but yeah, it just takes time to build it up in this campaign. What kind of army do you want in the end game? Well, Jezzails, Rallying Gunners, not bad choices for him. Just keep in mind, they're bad in sieges. Not a problem if you're using an auto-resolve mod like me, but if you're actually having to fight sieges, yeah, not a great army for that. Although, nukes are a great equalizer. Gotta say that much.
Warlock. Zap. Kill for Scryer.
Now, in this case, I don't want to, like, if you're wondering why I haven't marched against that port just yet. It's because I don't want to. I don't have the food, right, to just take this element. Oh, I'm gonna... Not gonna get a rebellion. Interesting. Okay, now we're gonna get a rebellion because we just removed the public order benefit right there. What level is it? 12. He's not getting there. Yeah, though to be fair, it's not really too much of a priority. What do you want to do? Well, let's just say we build one Doom rocket. It's food, so that's frustrating. All of this is food, actually. But what do you want to do? I would say, like, getting Globadiers, Bombardiers, Poison Wind Mortars, the armor benefit here, pretty damn good. Armor benefit. Witness me for Warp Grinders. Yeah, I mean, no joke. Like, melee attack, like, the Warp Grinder benefits are very significant. Rattling Gunner is kind of not important. Like, I mean, obviously it is important, right? But still, it's like, compared to some of the benefits like damage resistance and like all that kind of stuff, yeah, it's like I would prioritize some other stuff. Here I might switch to a control benefit. That's gonna take a while. And I would solve it, like, once, you know, I solve my freaking food issues. And, like, this is one of the things, Cave, when you kind of want to make sure you have a high food situation, because if you don't have a high food situation, you're gonna go bankrupt. You're going to go under very quickly. Still no plague clause for either of these armies. Well, that's a bit of a shame. But we can use this army to deal with the Fey
No evildoer may receive the blessings of the lady.
Not on Grom, because that would be stupid. Question I wonder though about is he... He is strong. And I'm gonna get a military alliance with him. The benefit of that is you can end up taking Lorem and selling it to him. If you're gonna go for Lorem, I'd say going for the Fey Enchantress first, and then in making an alliance with Grom, giving his territory, because his province is not particularly great for Skaven. So giving his province away to yeah, I'm gonna get this. Giving that province away to Grom is actually a good choice. Though I probably will have to take Brianna as well. Anyway, Costine signing out. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and enable notifications, and stay tuned for more.